Hey there! Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the spine-chilling world of creepy experiences. Yep, you heard that right. We're about to unravel a few hair-raising stories that will make you double-check your locks before bedtime. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our thrilling content.
We lived in a big house located in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We grew up there and nothing ever happened. But when we went to my grandma's house that was just down the road, the creepiest things would happen to my sister. She would say at night, after we all fell asleep, she would be woken up by a slap across the stomach. She thought it was me and came to my room to yell at me. When she came in, I was sound asleep and she freaked out, so I let her sleep in my room. Another time we were outside playing and it was getting dark. I said, as we were cleaning up, I had to go inside to the bathroom and I would be back. She said, okay, but when I got back, she was lying on the ground screaming and crying. She said she saw me come out of the house, run right at her, and then punch her in the face. Then she said I took off around the corner of the house, and when she went after me, she saw something horrifying. She said it was a tall creature, probably about 7', wearing a black robe. She said she saw it and froze in fear, and it kept looking at her, but all she could see was its glowing eyes from the darkness. Then she said it let out a horrible scream, and she blinked and it was gone. Then she collapsed on the ground where I saw her. She told my grandma, but she acted like my sister was playing. 2 days later, my grandma flew to our house at about 10:30 a.m. She came in screaming. She said she was last night in the kitchen making brownies when she heard someone at the front door knocking. She said it was around 8, so she was a little scared. But she went to see who it was, and there was no one. She thought it was some kid from down the road, so she didn't think anything of it. But then later in the kitchen, she, out of the corner of her eye, saw a little man walking from the living room up the stairs. She flipped out, but then she talked herself down, thinking she was just seeing things. She said she didn't go to bed until 3 in the morning, which isn't unusual for her. And she said it was around 10 in the morning when she felt the blanket being pulled off of her. She shot up and saw a little man at the foot of her bed, smiling. So she ran out of the house and came straight to us. She now sold the house.
Can you imagine waking up to a slap across the stomach with no one around? Gives me the shivers just thinking about it. And that sighting of a tall, robed figure with glowing eyes? Yeah, count me out of any late-night strolls in those mountains. But wait, the chills don't stop there. We've got another spine-tingling story lined up for you.
North Jersey in the mountains. Our family home was part of a mining railroad system. The old railroad was in our backwoods. Our home was an old slaughterhouse, livestock farm. Dug up skulls and bones my whole childhood. We had the ruins of the old slaughter mill in a field with blood. Drainage system to a pit with lots of bones. My entire childhood shit would fly off my shelves onto the floor. Or you set an object down on the counter and it would be gone. I witnessed these things. Sometimes I would feel someone sit on my bed too. As a young adult, I constantly burned sage in my room to try and get rid of whatever was stuck in my room. My parents remodeled the house and found a bunch of animal bones buried in the foundation. And by foundation, I mean a pile of dirt with wood set on top of it. Eventually, I felt the scary thing leave my room, but there was another ghost still present. During COVID, I moved back in, my parents, and a few times a week I would hear their heavy-ass door open and shut. They had a porch and deck with multiple doors, so air pressure literally could not cause a door to slam. I hear a heavy boot step downstairs and yell, "Hey, Dad!" No response, check at the parents' window that overlook at the driveway, and of course, no one would be home. Parents are still in this house and say that they constantly find all the kitchen cabinet doors open. Or they hear shit in my old room that sounds like a bookcase falling over and they'll rush up and everything will be perfectly fine. Or things will go missing and they'll find them in my old room. When they remodeled where the attic door staircase was, became my mini bathroom. My dad never believed in ghosts, but now that he's retired, he 1000% believes we have ghosts. He was in the military, so he thinks it's funny, and calls the ghost Gladys, but Def prefers to spend his time outside. My mom does not think it's funny at all, and I'm just glad I live very far away, and I refuse to stay with them when I visit.
Can you imagine living in a house with such a dark history? I'd be burning sage nonstop too. And finding bones buried in the foundation, that's some next-level horror movie stuff. But hold on, we got one more story to cover, and this one takes us to the Hollywood Hills.
I got a story for y'all. You guys tell me if you think it was paranormal or not. About 2 years ago, my girlfriend and I had our 3-year anniversary. We had a great dinner in downtown LA, and she had a little surprise for me after. She rented a pool in the Hollywood Hills for us through this app called Swimply. I had never heard of this app, nor would I ever think to rent out a pool in someone's backyard. Just not my thing, but my girlfriend was excited about it and thought it'd be romantic. To be honest though, I really wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to do it, but she had paid a decent amount for it, and I didn't want to be a buzzkill. My intuition told me as we started our drive to the Hollywood Hills, this isn't a good idea. Multiple times, I had a gut feeling that going up to this house up in the Hollywood Hills was just not a good idea. Also, she had this reservation through Swimply from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. We got out of dinner around 8:30 p.m., so we were going to get to this house late. We get to the house, park, and it's just so dark and quiet up in those hills. Didn't see a car pass by us once we got to the hills. Didn't really see anyone out walking. Thought it is nighttime. In order to get into the backyard, you need a code. We had a code, and were told that we'd have the backyard to ourselves for 2 hours with no other company. The first thing that weirded me out slightly is that the gate was already open. No code was needed, which was odd to me. We get into the backyard, and there's a jacuzzi and a pool. The pool has a tarp on it though, so we didn't get into it. It was a very cold night in Los Angeles too, so we just sat in the jacuzzi. I had a very weird feeling when I walked into the backyard, one that I can only describe as vertigo. I look into the house a little bit from the backyard and see a couple of lights on, but it's pretty dark. Couldn't tell if anyone was home or not. After a couple minutes though, I got that feeling where if you keep on looking into the house, you may see something you don't want to see. We didn't have any music or anything. Just the cold wind, the loud slap of the tarp going against the pool, and a wind chime going above us in the jacuzzi. It's about 9:15, and I finally tell my girlfriend, it's time to go. I don't like the vibe here. Maybe I was paranoid. But as soon as I said that, she said, yeah, I agree, let's go. That made me even more nervous, because I could tell she felt the same creepiness I felt. We go to the back of the backyard, where the bathroom is, and change. At this point, I'm trying to get out of this backyard and to the house as fast as possible. As my girlfriend heads to the gate and I follow, I feel the hairs on the back of my neck raise, as if someone was looking, following me. Everything I'm about to say happens in under 30 seconds. Her and I are heading to the gate, and I'm obviously avoiding looking into the house because I'm creeped out. Her and I both notice a camera that was pointed directly at us while we were in the jacuzzi, and then right when we're about to open the gate, my girlfriend says, "Oh shit." I pick her up, and we get the hell out of there. Now, I believe in something. I don't know if it's ghosts, but I believe in something other than us that's out there. My girlfriend doesn't do ghost talk. It freaks her out. I ask my girlfriend when we get in the car, "Why did you yell? What happened?" She seemed really upset and told me she didn't want to talk about it. She ends up telling me later that night that she saw somebody, looking at us through the house windows right when we left the gate. But she couldn't describe what she truly saw. She said it was just staring at us though. Still gives me the chills to this day. But honestly, it could have just been a creep. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments below.
And that's a wrap on today's spooky stories here on Storyscape. If you enjoyed getting creeped out with us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more.